Hello, hello. Welcome. Just want to make sure that I am streaming into the right group. You know how that is. How is everyone today? Let me know when you pop on, and I just going to make sure that we're all up and running and streaming and doing the thing. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Hey, Alex. All right, guys. Awesome. You are here. Perfect. So let me just, I have my phone pulled up so I can see your comments. All right, guys. Oops, I got to mute that. Awesome. You are here. Perfect. So, okay, that's not going to work. So muting that. Okay. Janine, yay. Hi, good to see you. Alex. Treya, awesome. You guys, so excited to have you here. So I've got you up on my phone so I can see your comments. And I'm coming to you from a different spot in my house today. Normally I'm coming to you from my office, but we had a bunch of rearranging happening in my house. So we're in the basement, which I call my husband's lair. So I'm like surrounded by guitars and fly fishing gear. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. So excited, you guys. This is going to be an amazing week because we are not only going to launch and monetize your own six-figure Facebook group. I mean, hello, how cool is that? But what are we really doing, you guys? What we're really doing is helping you build your own audience because, hello, how do you get rid of feast or famine? You have your own audience. It is the one thing that so many people aren't teaching you how to do. And that's why all of these cookie cutter things don't work or the launches fail, is because we need our own audience. All right, Anna, Nikki, hi, welcome. So excited to have you guys. So are you ready to dive in? First of all, before we start, I want to know kind of where you all are coming from. So if you already have your own Facebook group, put the link in the comments. I want to see what your Facebook group is. Who is it for? Inspire us to join. Put your link in the comment, because here's the thing, you guys, this workshop is going to be an asset in my Facebook group. And that means there's going to be a lot of eyes, not only throughout this first 3 days, but into the future. And you never know, your ideal client might be watching this video. So definitely put your link if you have your own Facebook group. I want to see what that link is. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do in the next 3 days? All right. I see Nikki's in there. Awesome. Who's it for, Nikki? Okay. This Facebook group, you guys, has been, hi, Sherry. This Facebook group has been the best decision I've ever made in my business. And we're going to talk about why, we're going to talk about how, we're going to talk about all of those things. But here's the thing I want you guys to really, really know is that the strategy that I used to monetize this group was a strategy I used to monetize immediately. Okay. So you don't need to wait to monetize your group. I monetized this group. I had a high ticket client sign up after 6 days. I had less than 20 people in this group. I filled my beta with 15 amazing women. I had less than 300 people in here. I had multiple five-figure launches in here with less than 1,000 people. I've had 29K weeks. I've had 30 to 50K months, all because I started this Facebook group. So how does that sound? Are you guys ready to really understand what it takes to monetize your own six-figure group? So if we haven't met, if you're new to the group, I know we've got a bunch of new people. I'm Carrie Coe. I am an online business coach, a former healthcare executive, TEDx speaker. I help you get consistent and elevated revenue online because you know what? That feast or famine thing, I did it for way too many years and it sucks. And so inside this group, we are all about consistent and elevated revenue. We're all about abundance, and we're all about that organic client attraction, that personalized client attraction, so that when you are out there, you are taking action from a place that's super aligned and feels super good for you. So welcome to everyone. So excited that you are here. Okay. So here's the thing that I want you to know about Facebook groups. You do not need a big audience to convert. Okay. Now I know that there are a bunch of people out there teaching you how to grow super fast and like grow these $50,000 or 50,000 member groups, right? Like I know those strategies, right? That's not a strategy I used. Okay. Because for me, it was different. And we're going to talk about how that was different. But the point is, it's scary to think about going from 0 to 50,000 members. Like, let's focus on one member at a time. Okay. So you don't need a huge audience in order to convert. You also don't need to follow those cookie cutter templates because that is no fun. Like, see one more template. I don't want it. It's no fun. I don't want to be like all the other 620 million Facebook groups. Do you? Like, no, we don't, you guys. We get to be different. And so raise your hand if you think that it's hard to run your own Facebook group. I just want to see where you're at on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's do that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you think it is to run your own Facebook group and to, have a really good engaged group and monetize it? Okay, put it in the chat. Here's the thing with that, you guys. I am going to shut down that myth right now that it is hard to have your own Facebook group. You love running it. Awesome, Anna. That's what I love to hear. I do too, right? It is so fun. You like it. You just wish it was more engaged. Yes. Okay. So here's the thing, you guys. We've all been scarred. We've all been scarred by the Facebook world community, have we not? Like, we do posts and, we do these posts and then they're denied and then we feel horrible because we're law-abiding citizens and we didn't think we did anything wrong. Or maybe we respond to like those posts that are like, share your group. And then you get somebody in your message saying, please don't share your group because we kind of do the same thing. I've gotten those things. That scarcity mindset, you guys, is all over the internet, but not in here. Not in here. We do things differently. And here's the thing, you do get to be different. You don't have to be like everyone else. You don't have to follow the rules. That is how you monetize. That is how you attract. Hi, Sandy. That's how you attract your ideal client. Okay, so I want to get a sense of where everyone is. Okay, so in terms of Facebook groups, so for those of you who have a Facebook group, how many of you have one, but it's kind of dead and you're kind of not sure about it? Like you're told, oh, I have to be fun, but I don't feel fun. And like you've just kind of abandoned it because nothing's happening in there. So put in the comments, Facebook group, but dead or dead. Right? Because we know those groups, right? We've had those groups where like nothing's happening and you're like, oh, I don't know about this, right? So if that's you, that's okay, because we're going to help you with that. But if that's you, just put that in there. If you don't have a Facebook group and are kind of nervous about it, but curious, and you're kind of on the fence, put that in there if you're on the fence, okay? Or if you have a group and you're like, I am ready to monetize this thing, put monetize. I want to see where you are. Facebook group dead. Okay, dead. Okay, I have a group started eons ago and it's hidden now. Yes. Oh my gosh, Janine. Yeah, totally. I like it. Also wish it was more engaged. Okay, good. We're going to talk about all of that on the fence. Yep. 1650 members. And so far it's dead. Okay. Ready to monetize. All right. Woohoo. Okay, you guys, here we go. This is perfect that we have a little bit of a blend because each one of you, the important thing that we're going to talk about, you guys, over these 3 days, it doesn't matter where you are. You could not even have a group and want to start one. You could already have one and have it dead. You could have an awesome and engaged group and just ready to monetize. You need to start with day one. So just know, no matter where you are, you're in the right place. So I'm super glad you're here. Okay, so grab a notebook. I want you to take notes. I want you to do the thing that we're going to talk about in here because you guys, this is no joke. I had a client tell me that someone's charging $5,000 for like a quarter of what we're going to talk about this week. So I'm giving it to you. So let's do this. Okay. All right. Let's start about talk about just really quickly. There are some pros and cons to Facebook groups, right? The pros are that you have your own audience. If you want to scale, you guys, you need your own audience. You just do. Okay. It's really hard to scale by poaching off other people's audiences. And it's not very much fun either, is it? We don't like to be all over the place. It's like exhausting. So the pros are that you have your own audience. You can scale. The cons are that you need to commit. This is not a shiny object syndrome strategy. The reason people think it's so hard to run their Facebook group is because it's just one of several other strategies that they're using. The reason I monetize fast and often is because it is my primary strategy. So here's the thing that happens when you have a Facebook group, you guys. You automatically step into your authority because your authority's always been there. It's always been there, but maybe you haven't allowed yourself to step into it, right? But being the admin of a Facebook group, you have to step into your authority or else what are you even doing, right? But what happens is this ripple effect. This Facebook group is my biggest asset in my business, more than my courses, more than my programs. Why? Because it has elevated my authority. And so I not only have monetized well over, I think it's like well over 150 in here, and I just started on Black Friday, but that's not the only place I monetize. I monetize on my personal page. I get clients from LinkedIn. I have other sources of revenue. And this thing happens when you step into your authority and you build your own audience, you show up differently everywhere, okay? And everything changes when you allow yourself to change and to give to your audience from that authoritative place, from that place of knowing your genius, of knowing that you are there to make an impact, okay? So day one, we are talking about right now, what are those prerequisites that you need in order to monetize, okay? So when I started my group, you guys, I was terrified, okay? Like, you know what it's like when you plan a big party, you get the decorations, you have your signature cocktail that you've like researched, you're like, oh my God, it's gonna be so good. And then you get like you have like all your questions, right? Like to make sure people are talking and people like each other. And then when you think about filling that party with actual people, you're like, oh God, what if they don't want to come? What if they don't like me, right? Who relates to that fear? It is that ego fear, that making it all about me, that prevented me forever from starting my own group. In fact, my prior coach said, it's a lot of work, don't do it, right? So I wasn't getting all this encouragement to do that, like I'm encouraging you to do, right? I always say that. Yes, it's like throwing a party and will they show up? That's a horrible feeling, right? But I went beyond that fear. And, my VA kept saying, are you ready? Because it's ready. Are you ready? And I decided I'm ready, right? So I launched this group on Black Friday of 2020. It was all about making money instead of spending money for my members. And I was all in. This is the only thing I talked about because I was genuinely excited about it. Okay. And so there are so many ways to really create this group and grow this group. I mean, there's strategies floating around, the cold outreach, the massive giveaways that I will never do, promote yourself posts, all those things, right? That is not what we're talking about. Why? Because that's not how I grew and monetized my group. It's just not. I didn't do those strategies. I don't like those strategies. And you get to do what's aligned with you, but we need to discover what is aligned with you first. Okay. So day one, the prerequisites for monetizing, I need you to ask and answer 3 questions for yourself. Okay. If you don't do this, if you skip this step, your group will be just like the 620 million or however many groups are out there, right? Like this is the thing, you guys, that differentiates you and your group. This is the thing that creates raving fans. This is the thing that inspires people to come to your group. And if you're not inspiring people, you are not going to get your ideal clients. So question number 1, are you ready? Write it down. Tell me you're ready. Put it in the comments. This is such an important question. Okay, because your Facebook group is not a group. Your Facebook group is your mission. It is your movement. Okay, so the question, why do you want a Facebook group? It's not to monetize, you guys. It's not to build your own audience. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. If it's not bigger than that, you're the cookie cutter groups that everyone else has. Okay, so your group is not a Facebook group. Your group becomes your brand, your mission, your movement that you feel so passionate about, that is so aligned with why you do what you do. And it's bigger than you can even comprehend. Okay, so think about that. What is your movement making mission? Let me give you an example. Okay, so profitable, happy female entrepreneurs. Here is why I created this group. It actually started during COVID when my inbox was overflowing with white males promoting for each other. And I was like, okay, where are the women, right? Like, number one, where are the women? This is annoying, right? But it was more personal than that, right? Because I have had so many what I call living room conversations. You know, those conversations right over here in that couch where you're talking with your partner or your loved one, whoever that is, and you're like, oh, I just don't know, should I make this investment? I don't know if I can do this. And you're looking for this external reassurance, and they're feeling your fear, and they want to protect you. So they're like, honey, you know, maybe you should just go get another job. Maybe you should just go back to work. Does anyone relate? Tell me I'm not alone there. It's nothing against the loved one. It's everything about how we forgot the badass that we are, you guys. Most of us have had a career where we had some major impact. And for whatever reason, we've made this crazy decision to go out on our own. But what happens when we do that? We forget our genius from those corporate days, from those professional days, and we forget to apply it. So we come into this online world feeling like a total novice, like we forget. We lost our confidence and our self-assurance and all of those things that made us great in other aspects of our life. Suddenly we're like, what am I doing? Why am I competing with this like 20-year-old, right? Do you relate to this? Tell me if you relate to this. Those conversations, you guys, I needed to end. Why? Because when women come together in their strength, in their genius, and they build wealth together, something happens. When we come from that confidence and that self-assurance and we create wealth together, we give it away. We serve our families. We make our family unit stronger. We create family units out into the community, right, that are stronger. We serve our community. We serve our world. And what happens when we all build wealth together and we're all serving our world? We live in a better place. Now, does that sound cliche? Yeah. But is it the 100% reason that I need this group to come together to thrive together? Yes. And do you know what my ultimate vision is for this group? That this group is affiliating for us. We're building wealth together in a way that's both strategic through like, we're promoting for each other. We've replaced all those white males in the inbox with us, right? Because we are in it for the impact. When you go impact first, income follows. 100%. Okay? Yes, Sandy remembers when I started, she was one of the first 10. So what is your mission, you guys? What is your mission? Why are you creating this Facebook group? I really want you to put some thought into this, okay? This is, most people, when they give workshops and things like that on Facebook groups, they're going to teach you how to name it. They're going to teach you about keywords, okay? Sure. Is that important? Yeah. That's not what's going to get your ideal client. It's this question that I pose to you that is going to attract your ideal client. Yes, income follows impact. That's right. Absolutely. So that's the work I want you to do for question number one. What is your impact? What is your movement making mission? That is how you monetize your Facebook group. Step one, by actually not making it about monetization, right? Makes sense. Makes sense. Nobody wants to join a group to be monetized. Like, that doesn't sound very personal. Every single member that joins this group, I look at that member. I look at who they are. I say their name because you're human, right? This is a community that we are building so that we can truly build wealth together and change the world. And that's who I want in this group, right? So who do you want? We're going to go to this next question. Okay. So first question, write that down, put some thought to it, your movement making mission. Second question. Okay. Who's this for, right? Who is your ideal client and their problem that you have a solution for? Now, inside Clarity to Clients, we go deep into the problem solution emotion path, because that is how you know that your offer is 100% aligned and positioned to fly off the shelf. Okay, we don't have time. I don't do that in free workshops, but that's inside Clarity to Clients. But what you can do right now is tell me and put it in the chat. Put it, you're clear on this. Awesome. Put it, Janine, if you're clear on it, put it in the comments. Because sometimes when we verbalize it, right? Sometimes when we put it out there, that makes it real, right? And that allows us to really customize it even more. So who is your ideal target person? What is their problem? A great way to really think about this is through your I help statement, right? Let's go back to the basics. So often we gloss over like what we learned right when we were in the beginnings. And what happens is we make our offers, we make our content too general. People don't know that we're talking to them, right? So go back to your original I help statement. I help who? Who do you help? I help action-taking, impact-making female entrepreneurs who have burned down their traditional career path ladder, right? Like, that is who I serve. I don't just serve anybody. I don't serve everybody. That is who I serve. So who do you serve? Okay. And what is their main desire? What is it that they really want? I help action-taking, impact-making female entrepreneurs who burn down that corporate ladder, burn down that traditional professional ladder. I help them create consistent and elevated income online. Okay. How do I do that? I do that by helping them uncover their personalized client attraction strategies. Zero cold outreach, zero icky, sleazy sales. Okay. What do I save them from? What are those pain points that I save them from? No more wasted time and no more wasted money. From shiny object syndrome, from self-doubt, right? So if you truly go back to that statement, you guys, I want you to write that out and put it in the chat. I help who, create what, without what pain point. So who is your audience? Specifically, get as specific as you can. Create what? What is your audience's main desire? Without what? What is their main pain point? Because when you identify their main pain point and you match up your solution to your pain point, that's when our messaging becomes on point, right? Inside Clarity Clients, we go deep into messaging, deep into content that converts. But for now, you guys, for now, if you can line up the pain points and your solutions, you will inspire people through your mission to join your group. Is this making sense? I want you to get super, super clear on this, because what happens a lot of times when people start a group is they just like accept everybody. They're like, blanket invitation, I'm going to invite everybody on my friends list. Don't do that. Don't do that. The reason I've monetized is I'm very strategic in how I add members to this group. Okay. So really dial in that I help statement and really dial in those pain points and your solution. Because let's be clear, we are not going to be focused on their pain points. We don't do struggle. We don't do all this negativity that gets people in their pain. Why don't we do that? Because people who are in their pain are not ready for the solution. You are attracting people who are ready for the solution. So you need to be clear on the solution that you have. Now, we can't go into offer alignment here. That's too much for a free workshop. We do that in Clarity to Clients. But when you can see on paper, pain point, solution, what happens to your confidence? What happens to your self-assurance that when you take action, you're going to get results? That clarity, there's a reason why I named my signature course Clarity to Clients, right? Because that clarity is what converts, okay? So list those things out. All right, who's ready for number 3? You guys ready for the third question that might be the most important question to attract your ideal clients, okay? Here is that question. What's it like to be in your world? What is that feeling that you create? Why is this the most important question? Because this question is what creates raving fans. This question is what people, when they create this feeling, they want to be on your email list, right? They want to be in your world. So think about the world that you are creating, right? Think about the feeling that you are creating. We just went to Legoland with my son, right? There is a certain vibe in Legoland that is very different than the vibe of Disney, okay? It's more of a down home, like less grandiose, more like intimate. It's a smaller place. It's for smaller kids, younger kids. It's just more of a kind of a family, like small town feel, right? So what is the feel the feeling that people get when they join your group? Because here's the thing, in order to monetize fast and in order to monetize with your small audience, you need to know how they're feeling. Why? Because they purchase in that feeling, okay? Does that make sense? People buy based on emotion and they justify with logic, okay? So logic tells us we need to be able to create a world that creates this positive, empowered emotion. Is this making sense? Put your emotion, your feeling words. You don't need to decide right now. Mostly educated women who think they love food too much to lose weight and to keep it off. Oh, that's good, Sherry. I think I'm probably your ideal client. What is that feeling? Okay, what is that feeling though that you're creating for those educated women, for those ambitious, purpose-driven women leaders, Nikki? What is the feeling that they get when they come into your world? That vibe makes a difference. You are creating a vibe. And people say high vibe. What does that mean though? What does that mean? Yes, we want high vibe and not low vibe, clearly. But here's the thing, everybody thinks they're high vibe. So how do you create a feeling that makes your group different? When you come into profitable, happy female entrepreneurs, you guys, I want you to feel at ease. I want you to feel peace. I want you to feel content, and I want you to feel empowered, because in all of these other groups, we have to follow all of these rules, right? We have to like show up and stand out. And yeah, that's good to show up and stand out. But when we have to do that with these pretenses and these walls, and it's just exhausting, I want you to feel energized that you can show up in here and be you. Because when you do that, I know that that ease and that peace and that contentment follow. Does that make sense? What are those words? Joy, stress, confidence for teens going through the college admission process. Okay. Healthy, vibrant, fun, energetic, positive, inspiring. Now, here's the thing, you guys. One girls' happy hour where we put down our guard and get comfortable. Awesome, Nikki. Okay. What does it feel like in that girls' happy hour? What does it feel like to take down your guard? Like if you really think about that feeling that you have when you're somewhere that you feel like it's going to be okay. I just feel like this is me, right? I can be me. Content. Because when we're content, we're like, okay, there's no pressure. I can do the thing. I can post my post. I can experiment with building my business, right? That's what I want you to feel in here. So how do you create that feeling? Okay, part of that is what we're going to talk about tomorrow in the engagement to monetize day. But I want you to really think about that one. If you can make it one word, do that. Like one word, okay? If you had to pick one word, put it in the chat. What is that one word that you would create? Okay, so you have 3 questions right now. Your movement making mission, okay? I want you to go deep with that movement making mission. And what do I mean by deep? Excuse me. I want you to picture you're following someone around with your phone video, right? I used to say video camera, but that's pretty dated. You're following someone around and your mission is realized. What is that person experiencing? What does that person's day look like, right? When I have my person in this profitable, happy world, they're bounding down the stairs and they're like, hey, honey, here's what's happening. I just invested 30K because this is what's happening in my business right now. And that's going to get me to where I need to go. Cool. Right? It's more of an empowered conversation. We're done asking for permission, right? So really understand that like moment in your ideal client's mind when they are experiencing your mission coming to fruition. How many groups do you think do this work before they actually start to monetize? Not very many, you guys. This is the stuff that you need to have to monetize. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write a post inside Profitable Happy Female Entrepreneurs to your ideal client, inspiring them to join your group. If you don't have a group, that's okay. You're just going to write I'm sure you have an offer. You can actually inspire them with your offer as well, okay? But the point is, I want you to write a post talking about how you see your person within your mission, okay? And here's the reason I'm asking you guys to do this. I'm not just doing it because you're supposed to have homework and these things, right? Like, that's not why. The reason why is because when you take action, you build that confidence loop, right? The more action you take, the more confidence you gain, the confidence that you create, okay? And when we continue to take these baby steps, I am telling you what comes out of that loop, that comes out of that confidence loop, is the self-assurance and the multiple 5-figure months that you all want consistently. It is not these big grandiose strategies that we're doing, right? It is focus. It is eliminating shiny object syndrome and it's taking action. But here's the thing, you have to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall. I know, you guys. Shiny object syndrome, all of these things are so tempting. I know. You're talking to somebody who spent like 60K in debt, okay, before I figured it out, and then spent even more because then I invested in the right thing. So I know how tempting all of these things are, okay? But what's going to stop you from shiny object syndrome and really focusing on those investments that's going to move your business forward? What is it? It's exactly what we talked about today. It's that movement making mission. It's focusing on the solutions that you have to those pain points that your people are experiencing. It's creating that feeling within yourself. It's understanding impact first and income follows. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had a really hard time accepting that piece, accepting that I was able and I got to create impact before the revenue came. In fact, there was like this moment that it clicked. Okay. Like it was one of those moments where, you know, that feeling of loss of authority on steroids. It was when we were refinancing our house, right? Has anyone refinanced? You know how they ask for your firstborn? Like literally you give them everything, right? Get all your papers together, you do all the things, right? I had zero consistency in my business at that point. This was not that long ago, you guys. I had zero consistency. I had zero predictability, right? So I dutifully got my spreadsheet together because I avoided my numbers back then. Any of you relate? Any of you relate to avoiding your numbers because you know they're not going to look the way you want them to look? So I avoided them. So it took me a little bit to get all this stuff ready, right? And got the spreadsheet ready and it was red. Okay. And so I remember distinctly, they were waiting for this for us to go through with our refinance. And I'm in my husband's man lair right now. I remember walking down those stairs with this laptop I'm speaking to you on right now with this spreadsheet in hand. And I just remember, you guys, that feeling of embarrassment and shame. And I remember feeling that in my body, like it was in my head. I felt like foggy. I felt tingly. My heart was beating. And I remember saying, here are my numbers. And I wasn't crying, but I had this feeling, this moment of shame. And we couldn't refinance our house. My in-laws had to co-sign. How embarrassing is that, right? I'm in my late 40s. And that's what happened, okay? And in that moment, you guys, literally showing my husband that spreadsheet, I said, never again, never again. And it is that moment that I decided that I'm never going to feel that embarrassment and shame again, because I'm going to figure this out. I was the vice president of business development for the largest healthcare organization in Colorado. And yet I had this belief that I couldn't develop my own business, right? And I started to talk to other women, and I started to talk to other women who had those same, quote, living room conversations that I'm talking about. These women are badasses. These women have amazing accomplishments, career, personal, otherwise, and we forget. And I was like, this can no longer happen. This can no longer happen. So I tested, I refined, and I created my own process for getting consistent and elevated clients online. And I started to take on VIP clients, and I'm like, I don't know if I can get the results for anybody else, but I'm going to try. And sure enough, I did. Sure enough, those 10K months, somebody had a 50K day, like people were getting results. So fast forward, you guys, a few months after that initial conversation, that initial spreadsheet, I was walking down those same stairs with a different spreadsheet, and I was floating. I was like that. I felt light all over my entire body. I was tingling, and I was like, oh my God, I got another client. Clients were coming out of the woodwork. That was my first 56K month. And that was just a few months after that first spreadsheet that was all in red. Why am I telling you this, you guys? Because this can change for you on a dime. I know that it seems like you have to put in the work, but that's an old corporate BS story that we tell ourselves. And it's not true. It can happen fast. I was able to turn that shame and embarrassment into pride and accomplishment and just this feeling of being light. That stress you feel, you don't need to feel it anymore. You do not need to feel it. This is the reason I created Clarity to Clients. This is the reason that online business accelerator was born, because I had the path to consistent and elevated clients, and I needed you to no longer suffer, to no longer wonder if this is possible for you. So I know most of you have had a lot of investment, okay? You're talking to somebody who, I hear ya, that was me too. So whether you've had a lot of investment, whether you've pinky swore with your business bestie that you will not make it another investment until you get clients, totally backwards, but I get it. This path is your personal path to consistent clients online. There is literally nothing else out there that gives you the soup to nuts path that you personalize, because we're not about templates, you guys. This is about making it fun for you. This is about drawing out your genius. So when you show up, you don't need to worry about being consistent. You're inspired, you're having fun. Consistency just happens. That is not a thing that we need to even be concerned about. Okay. So it doesn't matter how long you've been an entrepreneur. What matters is that you want consistent and elevated clients online. I seriously want you guys to imagine a day right around the corner where you have a high ticket signature offer that you're just selling with ease. You have no question where your revenue is coming from. You no longer worry about 10K months. You're like bringing in 10K days, right? Like that is a reality, you guys, right around the corner for you. I want you to picture a day where you feel so self-assured in your selling capabilities that people are a yes when they get on the phone. Getting no's is no longer a thing because you attract people who are ready for results. How do you do that? Because you are so crystal clear in your messaging, in your personal branding, and your offer is positioned so it flies off the shelf. Imagine that day, you guys. Imagine that day for you. That is possible. It sounds pretty great, right? That is my world. That is the world of my clients. But here's the thing. Now, you guys know I don't do like false scarcity. Like, I don't do that. This is my evergreen program. Doors are always open. You'll hear me pitching this program a lot because it is my signature that gets people consistent and elevated revenue online. So why am I talking about scarcity? Well, there's two areas I want you to think about right now. The first is internal scarcity, right? The first is how much longer are you going to accept the status quo? That's a personal decision for you. No one else can answer that question because here's the thing. You can do this on your own. You all have that capability. You 100% can. But what happens is people try and a year from now, they come back and they want to sign up, but guess what? It's double the price because the real urgency here is this is your very last chance to get clarity to clients at its current price. It is doubling after this launch. It's too valuable. The results are too big. So you get to decide. And listen, I know human nature. And I know what your reaction is going to be. You're going to procrastinate, right? Raise your hand, you guys. I know because I've been in your shoes, but don't be like me, who's then lost the opportunity, went back to the sales page, and it was double the price. I don't want that for you. So here's what's going to happen. Okay. I am going to have Ashley, who's on here, my assistant Ashley, put the link to Clarity to Clients Online Business Accelerator in the comments. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to open up that sales page. You are going to press the I'm ready button. Okay. And when you press that button, you're going to have some feelings about that. You're going to have some feelings. You're going to have some sweaty palms. You're going to have your heart beating. You're going to feel a little bit anxious, but what you're really feeling is not anxiety. It is excitement because this path, you guys, is your path to fly to consistent and elevated revenue online, finally ending that feast or famine. So you're going to click that button. You're going to feel the feelings. You're going to tell yourself, I'm excited. I'm not scared. I'm excited. I'm not scared. You're going to put in your credit card information. You're going to purchase it at the last chance offer, 5K, it's doubling, you guys. It's going up to 10K after this launch. And then you're going to feel relief. You're going to feel excitement. You're going to feel hopeful. You are going to have immediate access to me, to the content, to the calls, to all the things, because you don't need to wait one more day. Okay. So that is enough about that. I will see you on the inside. I want you to do your homework, write that post, okay? Take that action so that tomorrow you will be ready to talk all about engagement for monetization. This isn't just any type of engagement, okay? It's engagement for monetization. All right, guys, thank you for showing up today. Super fun to have you. And I'll go through the comments if I have missed any questions. But if you do have questions, just put them in the comments. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. All right. Have a good day. Bye.